Solo mi avatar es original, lo demás, no es de mi propiedad. Continuemos. Créditos a Rato con Mostacho y Argentinian Deadpool. Todos tras pensarlo decidieron aceptar la oferta del artista, además podrían desestresarse con todo lo que han pasado. Muy bien, espérenme un rato, necesito ir a mi cuarto, ya vuelvo.
Vaya tipo más raro.
Eres la criatura menos indicada para decirlo.
Muy bien, veamos qué versus será el primero. ¿De verdad? Este es uno de los más me de la temporada, pero bueno, así lo quiso la ruleta.
45 metros.
Ja, 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 ja.
Bien, ya llegué, les mostraré la batalla, solo pido que se agarren.
Espera, ¿qué dijo?
Killua Zoldyck, Hunter x Hunter's prodigious lightning assassin.
Misaka Mikoto, Academy City's ace electric princess.
Question: what is more terrifying than the all-powerful crackling might of lightning?
Lightning in the hands of cocky, hyper-talented teenagers. Oh, the worst combination. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Todos vieron en full 4K HD, como si fuera un holograma a los dos peleadores quedando asombrados, pero mayormente se quedaron estupefactos ante la pregunta del entretenedor. No sé si sentirme halagado u ofendido.
Espera, tú tienes poderes eléctricos.
Cool, ¿verdad? Aunque ahora están desactivados como para mostrarte. Entonces, Wiz y Boomstick, sí, ellos son los entretenedores que van a dar información de los combatientes y la pelea, así que por favor siéntense y agarren nota. Por cierto, estos idiotas aún no saben que esto es una batalla a muerte, así que ahórrense sus explicaciones a ellos.
The Zoldicks, a vicious family of assassins known the world over. So infamous for their killing techniques, a single photo of any member sells for millions.
You don't want to be the target of their next family outing. But like all families, there's bound to be a rebel.
As was the case with the middle child, Killua.
They seriously named him Kill? Hardcore.
Well, it might be a pun on the term kilowatt, but kill is apt, given he's been trained in past tensing people since he was 3.
I'll say, at age 14, he was strong enough to open a 64-ton door. Geez, what kind of workout did his family put him through? Somehow, it gave him 6 skater skills, extendable claws, and rhythm echo, a technique that lets him fool people's senses with just his feet.
More accurately, by manipulating the cadence of his footsteps, Killua can create an auditory illusion, capable of tricking even extrasensory abilities.
Killua was a heck of a prodigy, but despite being able to effortlessly rip out hearts, his family still thought he wasn't cold-blooded enough.
Fed up, he ran away. Not to the circus, but to the Hunter Association, an association of people who hunt stuff. There, he tested himself in the Hunter's exam and inevitably had gone head over heels for his new friend, Gon. Get it?
Oh God, Wiz, are you still taking those waste-of-time improv classes?
Yes, and I think it's going pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Killua's family didn't like him making friends, so they sat him down and then calmly and politely tortured him mercilessly as punishment. It was only thanks to Gon that Killua finally convinced his old man to let him go out on adventures with his buddies.
But this change of heart was no act of compassion. Killua's father saw his freedom as just another step in molding him into a better killer. And in some ways, he was right. Through his adventures, Killua learned Nen, an invisible life force that...
Yeah, it's key. It's always key.
Actually, this one's a bit more complicated. You see, Nen is utilized through 4 main principles. 10 for containing your aura while defending from physical and mental attacks, Zetsu for relieving fatigue and masking your presence, Ren for bolstering strength and influencing emotions,
That's pretty standard so far.
and Hatsu, the unique way in which one's Nen is expressed. This comes in many forms, but all fall into one of 6 types, which represent how proficient a Nen user is at certain techniques.
So, it's an RPG class system?
More like a hybrid class system, because most users actually fall somewhere between 2 categories, giving them differing degrees of proficiency. Techniques from these Nen categories can even be further enhanced by adding rules to their use. Oh, then there are the advanced principles, which...
Oh God, okay, I get it.
But we haven't even talked about Killua's Hatsu yet. Killua is a transmuter enhancer, i.e. he specializes in transmuting his aura into different forms and enhancing the power of himself and others. He uses his aura to...
He makes lightning!
Yes, in Killua's hand, lightning becomes a deadly weapon that he can fire down as a bolt, channel through his arms, or send through metal objects.
Like his super alloy yo-yos. These bad boys weigh up to 50 kilograms. See, that's how you make a pun, Wiz. Packing enough force to shatter trees like I just shattered Wiz's confidence.
Add in Killua's lightning and he can electrify anyone who touches them.
And this isn't some magic-y schmagic-y lightning. His bolts have been identified as the real deal more than once.
Meaning Killua is certainly as fast as actual lightning, especially when he uses it on himself to bust out God Speed, a form that greatly amplifies his agility and power, letting him bypass his synapses to reflexively react to threats.
For regular folk, that much voltage would be too much. But thanks to Killua's training, he can shrug off over 1,000,000 volts of electricity.
He's also exceptionally crafty. In a Nen fight, every move matters, and strategy almost always triumphs, even against greater strength.
Killua used these powers to battle world-renowned thieves, bomber mercenaries, and ants.
That may not sound like much, but these chimera ants were brutal, murdering and eating people by the hundreds of thousands, then threatening billions. Reminds me of an old experiment, gone horribly wrong.
Killua understandably wanted to bail, but Gon pulled him back in, much to his frustration.
Killua wanted to be there for Gon emotionally, but could not comprehend why he was risking so much against the chimera ants, going as far as becoming a monster.
In other words, Killua was crushing really hard, but didn't know what to do about Gon's simple-minded impulsiveness. It didn't end well for anyone.
It wasn't all doom and gloom, though. Killua held his own against some of the chimera ants' best, surviving this forest-consuming blast from one of their captains.
Which, judging by its size, was worth several kilotons.
And he later injured a top-ranking royal guard, Yuppie.
Sure, he ran for the hills the moment Godspeed wore off, and isn't as strong as the weird horseman, but even just damaging someone who can make a crater like this is nothing to sniff at.
But amidst all the fighting, Killua still could not get his family out of his mind. Literally.
As in, his brother, Illumi, put a needle in his head, forcing him to be controlled by self-preservation, ensuring he'd always run when victory isn't guaranteed. Wiz, you think you can call CPS for that?
Thankfully, after some much-needed self-surgery and self-reflection, Killua removed it, overcoming his mental barrier and ready to risk his life for those he cherishes.
Which he did when he finally got himself and his dear sister Alluka away from their demented family. He even brought Gon back from the brink of his creepy Nen coma.
But despite how valuable Gon was as a friend, Killua realized his unhealthy dependence on him.
So he decided to travel with and protect Alluka, finally realizing what he wants to do for the rest of his life. Oh god, the tearful romantic parting!
Still, if Gon or Alluka ever need help, Killua is sure to come running.
Ready to Killua anyone dumb enough to mess with him or those he cares about.
Vaya, empezamos fuerte al ser el hijo de una familia de asesinos.
Pero ese no debería de ser el ambiente en el que un niño debería de estar.
Vaya, toda esa cantidad de dinero, por una sola foto.
No puedes pensar en otra cosa, ¿verdad?
Buen juego de palabras. Vaya, ese chico debe tener una super fuerza como para hacer eso. Él es Killua Zoldyck, hijo del medio de una familia de asesinos, los Zoldyck. Todos vieron las hazañas del joven Killua, con algunas indignaciones de paso.
¿Cómo pudieron hacerle eso a su propio hijo?
¿Cómo se atreven?
El héroe peliverde trató de darle un golpe a la persona que torturaba a Killua, pero más no logró nada. Lo siento Izuku mi rodilla, pero no puedes interactuar con una pantalla XD.
Lo sé, pero se me hace algo cruel.
Luego, nadie sabía exactamente a qué se refería con siempre es ki. ¿Qué es ki? Solo digamos que es como la fuente de poder en un universo y básicamente fue la base de todos los niveles de poder. Luego todos vieron todos los cálculos y datos del Nen y las habilidades de Killua, al punto que varias personas se perdieron. ¿Entendieron? ¿Verdad? Normal.
El uso de esos yoyos me recuerda a una técnica mía.
Con un solo golpe puede destruir un árbol. Increíble.
Todos vieron las otras habilidades de Killua, como la Godspeed, su velocidad, sus hazañas con Gon y como siempre quería estar ahí para apoyarlo. Él no quiere huir de la pelea, pero igual esa cosita hace que se retire indirectamente. Y tras ver la nueva habilidad de Killua, al aceptar sus errores y quitarse la aguja, varios quedaron impresionados.
Eso sí que es ir a otro nivel.
Y salvó a su hermana de esa familia demente, eso es muy varonil. Parece que el joven Killua entendió que no siempre estará para el joven Gon, aún así me alegra de que por fin pueda ser feliz.
Al menos ahora protegerá a su hermana de todos los peligros de ese mundo, es como su héroe.
Si alguna vez vamos a ese mundo, me gustaría conocerlo.
Pues no se puede.
Academy City, a sprawling metropolis filled with schools where espers train to master their supernatural abilities.
Most of these youngins dream of rivaling the best espers, but only a few are hardworking and smart enough to do it.
Among them being Tokiwadai Middle School's Level 5 Electro Master, Misaka Mikoto.
Level 5? So she's a Pokemon, but an anime girl.
Each esper's power and utility is ranked, with level 5 being the highest they can normally achieve.
And after working up to that level, Misaka became unstoppable. She can magnetize herself to metal, electrically enhance her physique, sense her surroundings through an electromagnetic radar, and generate billions of volts.
In addition, she can make iron sand from disparate particles in the air to form tornadoes, body decoys, or a sword that vibrates at rapid speeds for enhanced cutting power.
Just what an anime girl needs, a chainsaw. Man, if she gets serious, Misaka can even make a friggin' 6 million ton kaiju out of it.
With such tremendous power, Misaka put an end to many crimes, earning fear among criminals, admiration among her peers, and lots of personal pride in her abilities. There was nothing she couldn't overcome.
Nothing except the bane of all tsunderes, a frizzy-haired, dumbass anime protagonist.
Enter Kamijo Toma, a level 0 nobody who Misaka could not harm, no matter how many times she tried.
Oh, I hate you, but I secretly love you, and it'll work out in the end. Shut up! But she'd have more than a dork like Toma to worry about. As amazing as Academy City is, it's more corrupt than New York real estate. Years ago, Misaka gave some shady scientists a sample of her DNA, being promised it'd help cure tons of fatal diseases.
Instead, they made tens of thousands of clones of her, sending them all to be slaughtered one by one.
Specifically against another level 5 and A-tier edgelord named Accelerator. By farming all these clones, they hoped he would finally get enough EXP to become a mythic level 6. Is that seriously all it takes? How does this Esper stuff work?
Glad you asked. Espers represent the scientific side of the world, a side I'm oh so familiar with. All espers possess an involuntary movement or AIM diffusion field that manifests their power, letting them consciously alter reality.
Changing reality with your mind. Isn't that just magic?
Au contraire, Boomstick, it's quite scientific. Look at Misaka's signature move, the Railgun. Many real-life railguns use a set of parallel conductors to generate Lorentz force. By envisioning imaginary rails between herself and her target, Misaka can create a similar yet greater effect, accelerating the speed and kinetic force of a projectile, usually a coin, into a concussive bullet. It's beautiful. It's science.
How long are you gonna be nerding out over this?
Come on, this is like my one thing. Where was I? Oh yeah, thousands of dead clones. Traumatized by the endless slaughter, Misaka felt enormous guilt. You see it all the time with horrific experiments.
Sure, buddy.
She worked for days to end the clone project, but concluded it would have to end with her sacrifice.
But Toma butted in, giving Misaka the support she needed in her darkest hour, while also punching out Albino Magneto with his Esper-proof fist.
Misaka had shouldered her burden for so long that she forgot how to rely on others. This wake-up call from her newfound crush was exactly what she needed.
But even with Accelerator decelerated, Misaka kept fighting Academy City's underbelly, all to protect her friends and free her sister clones she befriended. She dealt with a lot of trouble on the way, but had the power to do it.
In her battle with a killer cyborg lady, Misaka conjured a city-spanning storm, which, by measuring the size of the cloud relative to the city, would require over 58 kilotons of energy to make.
Kilowatts. She's also fought other level 5s, not just Accelerator. She got into a middle school beef with a snobby telepath, fought this explosive weirdo, and dodged particle beams from an unhinged Karen.
The electrons of which can accelerate to high relativistic speeds.
It's no shock. Misaka's reactions are that fast, given her lightning has been stated to be light speed on 5 different occasions.
More than just her powers, though, Misaka's greatest asset is her intellect.
It might not look it, but high-level espers constantly perform tons of nerd math just to make their powers work.
And understanding other powers has been just as vital to Misaka's survival. Take her bout with the magic Valkyrie, Brunhild.
Remember when Wiz said espers were the science side of the world? Well, these weirdos are packing the magic. A single mistake from Misaka could have meant death, but she still stalemated Brunhild.
Now, Brunhild was still stronger and faster, but it is impressive Misaka was able to harm a saint, who are normally only deployed against foes capable of leveling mountains. One such foe, Hell, froze 100 kilometers of ocean.
You'd think this means Misaka can take on all sorts of magical baddies. But alas, the power creep says otherwise.
He's actually serious. When you're dealing with crazy magicians and magic gods, even a level 5 Esper struggles to keep up. Misaka valued her abilities so highly that she struggled to maintain her self-esteem when they weren't enough.
A shame Misaka cares so much about getting stronger when Toma appreciates her as a person first and foremost.
While certainly a flaw, that ever-persistent hard-headedness will also keep Misaka around, no matter the stakes.
So watch out, cause this pint-sized 14-year-old is quite literally a walking railgun.
Parece que en ese mundo existen los dones parecidos a los quirks. Pues sí, aquí las personas son clasificadas por niveles, como cuál es más poderoso o cuál tiene el mayor control de su poder. Los niveles son del 0 al 5, y Misaka es de nivel 5, para que se den una idea.
Entonces, tiene una mayor capacidad en su poder, ya que su poder es muy amplio.
Exacto, mi traumadita, incluso ella puede manipular la arena al hacerla hierro por las partículas en el aire para formar tormentas, señuelos corporales o una espada que vibra a grandes frecuencias. Todos vieron que Misaka era prácticamente imparable, además de poder crear un Keiju de 6 millones de toneladas, lo cual asustó y dejó anonadados a los presentes, pero luego se quedaron en blanco al escuchar lo que dijo Boomstick.
¿Y cuál es ese temor?
A frizzy-haired, dumbass anime protagonist.
¿Cómo ese maldito extra puede ser invencible a los ataques de esa chica? Este es el análisis de Misaka, no de Touma, así que te callas.
Eso sonó grosero, el amor es bonito de todos los aspectos.
Sí, es muy bonito que te maltrate, te menosprecie y humille como muestra de afecto, sí, muy bonito.
Pobre chica, no sabía lo que hacía y terminó provocando la muerte de clones inocentes.
Todos volvieron a tener convulsiones de información de parte de Wiz, debido a los términos científicos, llegando al punto de esperar a volver a la historia de Misaka. Ya entendimos, solo queremos volver con la historia de la chica eléctrica.
Ay, que viva el amor.
No voy a negar que eso sí fue tierno.
Viendo su historial, no me sorprende que también pueda hacer tormentas.
Así que también hay magia en ese mundo.
Oh por Dios. No puede ser que esos seres sean más poderosos que ella.
¿Qué te sorprende? Es magia contra ciencia, era obvio la gran diferencia. Aún así puedo decir que ella es un gran exponente de que un gran poder en manos correctas, puede hacer a alguien el ser más poderoso con su único arsenal.
Esto sí que fue interesante, estos dos niños pueden hacer varias cosas con sus poderes eléctricos y le sacan provecho.
No como el señorito, me electrocuto con mi propia habilidad.
Sí, pero yo lo hago con gracia. Bien, ya mostradas las habilidades, es hora de la batalla, ¿están listos?
Por supuesto que sí.
Muy bien, que comience el combate.
Hey, that's mine! I've been looking for it all day. Give it here.
You want it? Come and get it. Coins, huh? I had a butler who used these.
Focus. It's a trick of sound, not sight. Gotcha! He's good at hand-to-hand. Better keep my distance.
She has stronger lightning. Gotta get in close.
No problem.
¿Eso es una tapa?
No me jodas, que en serio van a pelear por una tapa. Pues de lo que tengo entendido, esa tapa es importante para Misaka, aunque no sé, no vi su universo.
¿En serio? ¿No sabías de ella, ni su universo?
Para compensar la situación, tampoco el de Killua. Tras recibir un golpe cargado de Killua y activar el ritmeco, varios quedaron intrigados de cómo lo burlaría Misaka. ¿Qué piensa hacer ahora, señorita Mikoto?
Eso fue inteligente.
Ambas estrategias son importantes en su visión de ambos, ahora veamos cómo las ejecutan.
Now's my chance.
¿Pero qué? Son muy rápidos.
No para mí.
De repente el artista dibujó una tabla de surf plateada para que le puedan seguir el ritmo a la pelea.
Wow, ¿cómo hiciste eso? Es una de tus habilidades.
¿Quieres seguir viendo la pelea o no? Ahora cállate y sube, que se escapan. Tras llegar al edificio final, todos verían como Killua era atrapado en el tornado. El cual, si bien pudo escapar gracias a sus yoyos y casi llega a golpear a Misaka con ellos, quedaría atrapado por estos.
Vaya, sí que no hay tiempo para descansar.
Es que literalmente un golpe directo y puedes terminar carbonizado.
Parece que Killua ya activó la God Speed. Esto apenas comienza.
You don't know when to quit! Together with electromagnetism, meaning it can be disrupted.
A la mierda, esta batalla en el edificio está llevando al límite las habilidades de ambos.
Mas todos vieron de nuevo con sus propios ojos al Kaiju de Misaka, dándole pavor a muchos.
Es el gigante.
¿Soy yo, o parece que el combate lo están llevando muy al extremo?
Buena deducción, chico eléctrico.
Todos vieron incrédulos como el Kaiju era disruptido por Killua, dando ansiedad sobre quién sería el ganador.
Wait a minute.
Distance, 35 meters. Altitude, 45, 40, now.
Todos quedaron aterrorizados cuando vieron a Killua sacarle el corazón a Misaka, viendo cómo a dónde iba a ir la pelea.
Le saco el corazón.
Sabía que no iba a acabar bien.
Espera, ¿qué pasa aquí? Todos vieron que lo que había atacado Killua era un señuelo, y la verdadera Misaka estaba apuntando a Killua como objetivo, y cuando dio en el blanco y explotara, varios se quedaron en shock.
Ella mató a Killua.
No puede ser.
Bien, les daré un minuto para que tomen aire y volvemos para explicar todo. Todos tranquilos y comoditos, sigamos.
While Killua's assassin training made him a vicious threat, Misaka's abilities and know-how gave her the counter she needed in this mind-numbing battle of wits.
Killua could survive Killua-ton level blasts, and given some leeway could scale to Yuppie, whose crater feat was worth 18 megatons of TNT.
Impressive, but the storm Misaka created beat anything Killua has done directly. And given similar scaling to Brunhild, who Misaka not only harmed but stalemated, her output could reach hundreds of megatons of TNT. Meaning, no matter which numbers are used, Misaka would always have the advantage in raw electrical power.
No surprise there. Killua may have shrugged off 1,000,000 volts of electricity, but Misaka can dish out and survive billions.
Still, both characters have contended with and harmed stronger opponents, and the two power systems they work under have allowed weaker opponents to defeat stronger ones in the past.
So, might alone wouldn't net either a win. Plus, Killua was way better at hand-to-hand and physically stronger.
Knowing his crafty assassin skills, things could have gone south for Misaka if she wasn't careful.
But fortunately for the railgun, she was. Her fight with Brunhild shows she knows how to deal with tough, up-close threats while keeping her distance.
And being able to dodge particle beams meant Misaka was more than fast enough to react to even Killua's lightning-quick speed.
Add to that her bigger pool of powers, and she had plenty of ways to counter Rhythm Echo, since Killua was lightning, or just pin him in place long enough to pull off a railgun finisher. Killua was strong, but he wasn't gonna outmuscle 6 million tons of iron sand.
Killua was a prodigy in all things Nen, lightning, and killing, but Misaka's varied electro powers, quick reflexes, and scientific brilliance let her cash in a win.
But hey, at least she let Killua keep the change. She Killua'd him!
The winner is Misaka Mikoto.
En resumen, Misaka estaba rota.
Sí, pero era necesario matar a Killua. Un niño.
Pues sí, eso nos tomó de sorpresa a todos.
Me olvidé mencionar el hecho de que es una pelea a muerte, mal de mí. Pero igual que les pareció el combate, ignorando lo obvio, la verdad, fue algo entretenido y también pudimos ver otros universos.
Yo creo que no voy a poder dormir bien después de lo visto.
Ahora voy un momento a mi cuarto, de nuevo, ya vuelvo, de nuevo. Fin.
Ay, vienen esas pinches arañas. Por los NFTs de mierda. Por el pinche Willy Rex. Su puta madre, su puta madre. Corro como un basado.